From our part, for 75 years, our politicians have tried in democratic way 30 plus years. The youth have fought a war for 30 plus years. And since the end of the war, another 14 years have gone. The real problem hasn't been resolved, which the president also acknowledged. President said, අපි යුද්ධ කරා අවුරුදු 30ක් ප්‍රශ්නේ නැති කරාද නැහැ. යුද්ධ ඉවර වෙලා අවුරුදු 18 විතරක් ගිහිල්ලා ප්‍රශ්නේ resolve කරාද නැහැ. We felt that Sri Lanka, being a very religious country, be it Catholics, Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, we are all, majority of us are God-loving religious people. So when it's like that, there are majority Sinhala Buddhists who are in the south, and there is a structure to the Buddhism as a religion. There are 4 sects, there are Mahanayakas. When there are things like that, generally the majority Sinhala Buddhist people will listen to the monks. When you go to Pansal, when they preach, we come out thinking that the right things were said. So when it's like that, why haven't we reached out to the Buddhist monks and asked them for help to resolve the problem that was bugging us for a long time? So that is one reason. The other reason is we also feel that every time there is a resolution to the Tamil problem, be it Banda Chelva Pact, Dudley Chelva Pact, the ceasefire agreement with the LTTE, the 13th Amendment, every time a leader during the history has tried to resolve the problem, it is the Buddhist monks who came to the streets to block that resolution be implemented. As recently as last year, when the current President Ranil Wickremesinghe said he wants to implement the 13th Amendment in full, which is already in the Constitution, it is 1,000 monks who came to the streets to protest, not to implement any such thing. From the Buddhist Sinhala people, there is a feeling that the Tamil diaspora are the ones who don't want a permanent resolution to the problem in Sri Lanka. We are hell-bent on separating the country. We don't want peace in Sri Lanka. We want to create trouble in Sri Lanka. So we thought it might be a good idea, these two negative forces, if we can get together and see what happens, maybe that is the way to go. So that is how Nagarkot came about from our part. I must say I was very satisfied because the whole idea is to create a national conversation about problems that people face. ජනතාවට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්න ටික ජනතාවත් එක්ක කතා කරලා ප්‍රශ්න රිසෝල්ව් කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලන්න එක තමයි මේ වැඩ this project. So in that respect, we wanted to inform the politicians at all levels. So we met the president, we met the speaker of the parliament. The speaker of the parliament was kind enough to invite all the parliamentarians in committee room 4 so that we can explain to them. The former speaker, Mr. Karu Jayasuriya, was kind enough to invite us to his house and have a session. We met all party leaders. We met Mahinda Rajapaksa, we met Maithripala Sirisena, we met the former president Chandrika Kumaratunga, we met Anura Kumara Disanayaka, we met Mr. Sambandhan, we met Mr. Hakim, we met Mr. Mano Ganeshan, we met Jeevan Tondaman. So we met the cross-section of the party leaders to inform them, take the message to the people of Sri Lanka, for the people of Sri Lanka to have a national conversation to see what the majority of the Sri Lankans say about each of the problems. It's not just about the Tamil problem. In the Himalayan Declaration, we have addressed foreign policy, we have addressed economy, we have addressed the Tamil national question, we have addressed corruption, accountability, all kinds of things have been addressed in the 6 points in the Himalayan Declaration as a framework document. It's not cast iron and that's it, it's final. The whole idea is to create national conversation on the issues and perhaps edit and amend the declaration to include other issues or other significant things that are being missed in the declaration. You know, just as an immediate feedback I received, it is perhaps we could have included a little bit more on the plantation workers issues. That was a feedback I received from Jeevan Tondaman. Perhaps we should do that. So to create a national conversation, what we plan to do is through multi-religious groups. So the Buddhist monks who came, Asgiriya Mahanayakatero, we met the Malvatta Mahanayakatero, we met the 6 of the Amarapura Mahanayakateros out of the 22 who were closer to Colombo. We met the Mahanayakatero of the Ramanikaya sect as well. We met the Cardinal, we met the Bishop of Jaffna, we met the churches, Methodist and Anglican churches. We met the Kurukal of Nalayadinam. We met the Muslim Council in Colombo. We met the civil society in the north. We met the civil society in the south. We addressed the media in Kandy, in Jaffna, in Colombo, in all 3 languages. So we reached out to people as much as possible at all levels of the political, religious, social structure existing in Sri Lanka. So the monks will go and reach out to other religious groups and form multi-religious groups in all 25 districts and create awareness of the declaration and have conversations with the people. The people conversation might happen in social media, in issuing statements, in opinion pieces, in the press, in the TV, face-to-face, physically. I feel that we have already created the national conversation. In the Tamil media, in the Tamil organizations, especially in the diaspora, there's a lot of protests, very negative comments, but that is part of the national conversation. We can't expect everybody to be happy and have a positive feedback. So there are some negative feedbacks, but there are some positive feedback as well. There are editorials that are written in newspapers. There are opinion pieces that are written in newspapers and in the social media, which are very positive. For example, the president, and he said, unless we resolve this problem, we will never recover from the economic disaster that we are facing right now. He said there are 2 E's, ethnicity and economy. They go hand in hand. You resolve this problem, the other problem will get resolved by itself. So he's talking about political stability so that investments can come from the diaspora and other people and international businesses and governments. For that, you need political stability. For that, you need to resolve the problems that we face in Sri Lanka. In this declaration, we are not saying what is in the declaration is final. We want to have a discussion with sections of the diaspora and mostly in Sri Lanka, because the problem is in Sri Lanka, the resolution must be in Sri Lanka. The problem is not in the diaspora. The resolution is not in the diaspora. Diaspora can help to resolve the problem. So the discussions that we plan will happen in Sri Lanka and in the diaspora. You see, you need to start somewhere. And we didn't know when we went to Nagarkot whether we will have a declaration, whether we will have an agreement with the Buddhist monks. We saw them as a negative force. They saw us as a negative force. So my expectation was very, very minimal that we will have some common grounds that we can work on. But we were surprised. The success, we defined 10 success factors within ourselves as a group. If this interaction can tick some of these success factors, then it's a success that we can progress. Surprisingly, all 10 success factors were ticked. So when we didn't know how this is, whether it's going to start or not, having too many people wouldn't have helped. So that is why something has to be started by somebody so that it can enlarge into other communities and other people, including the diaspora.